Let me paint a picture and see if this feels familiar. Two adults, both educated, both employed. One works in marketing, the other's in tech. Together, they make well over $120,000 a year. On paper, they're winning. They're above the national median. They're doing better than most households. They followed the playbook: degrees, careers, marriage, a house in a good area, and yet they feel constantly behind. Savings are thin, emergencies go on credit cards, raises disappear before they're felt, vacations feel stressful instead of relaxing, and there's a quiet anxiety that one bad month could unravel everything. If you've ever looked at your household income and thought, why does this not feel like enough? This video is for you, because the problem isn't your budgeting, and it isn't your discipline, it's the structure you're operating inside, the promise that didn't deliver. For decades, we've been told a simple story: two incomes are better than one. It sounds obvious. Double the earners, double the security. More money should mean more breathing room, more resilience, more freedom. But for millions of families, the opposite happened. Despite higher incomes, financial stress increased. Bankruptcy rates didn't fall. Anxiety rose. And households became more fragile, not less. That's not coincidence. It's a design flaw. How one income used to work. Go back a few generations, most middle-class households relied on one primary income. And that income didn't just scrape by, it covered the basics with room left over. Housing consumed a manageable share of earnings. Public schools were reasonably funded across neighborhoods. Healthcare was cheaper. Childcare wasn't a line item because someone was home. But the most important part wasn't the money, it was margin. If the main earner lost a job or got sick, the household still had an unused lever, a second adult who could step into the workforce if needed. That unused capacity was financial insurance. What changed? When two incomes became normal. Fast forward to today. Most households now rely on two full-time incomes just to function, not to get ahead, just to stay afloat. The backup plan became the baseline, and once that happened, everything adjusted upward to absorb it. Housing prices didn't rise because families got greedy. They rose because buyers suddenly had more purchasing power. When everyone has two incomes, sellers price accordingly. The same thing happened with school districts, childcare, healthcare, transportation, college. The second income didn't create surplus, it reset expectations. Why the second income shrinks so fast. Let's break this down in real terms. Say one partner earns $70,000 and the other earns $50,000. That $50,000 doesn't land cleanly in your bank account. First, it's taxed at higher marginal rates, then come payroll taxes, then state taxes. Now you're closer to $32,000. If you have children, childcare alone can erase most of that. Add commuting costs, add a second vehicle, add parking, gas, maintenance, insurance, then add the invisible costs, more takeout, more convenience spending. Less time for home maintenance, more paid services to replace time and energy. By the time you're done, that second income often contributes very little net value, and sometimes none at all. But it looks large, which is where the trap tightens. The illusion that creates the trap. Because the gross income number is high, families make long-term commitments based on it. They buy homes sized for two incomes. They take on car payments that assume both paychecks keep coming. They build a life that only works if nothing goes wrong, and life always goes wrong eventually. The moment one income pauses, job loss, illness, burnout, caregiving, the entire structure wobbles. Not because the family was reckless, but because there was no slack left. Everything was optimized for maximum output, not resilience. Why higher income didn't mean more security. This is why so many households earning good money still can't handle a small emergency without debt. It's not that they don't earn enough, it's that every dollar is already assigned before it arrives. Security doesn't come from income alone, it comes from flexibility. And flexibility is what disappeared, the reframe that changes everything. Here's the mindset shift that actually works. Stop treating two incomes as permanent, even if they are. Instead, build your life so it could function on one. This doesn't mean quitting a job tomorrow. It means designing your fixed costs, housing, cars, core expenses, around a single income. The second income becomes optional, not required. That's where the power is. What this looks like in practice. It means buying less house than you qualify for, avoiding lifestyle upgrades that lock in higher monthly costs, banking raises instead of absorbing them, using the second income to build reserves, not obligations. At first, it feels like you're holding yourself back, but over time, something flips. Savings grow, investments start producing income, stress decreases, choices expand. You regain what previous generations had by default: margin. What financial success actually is. Real financial strength isn't about how much you make, it's about how many options you have when something changes. It's about not needing every paycheck just to stay standing. It's about having room to adapt. Two incomes aren't automatically bad, but two fully committed incomes are fragile, and the families who thrive long term aren't the ones earning the most. They're the ones who refuse to let their expenses grow faster than their flexibility. If this changed how you think about money, hit like, subscribe, and share it with someone who feels rich on paper but broke in real life. Because once you see the trap, you can finally step around it.